Hello, Aries. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Tarot Grand Lux by Chiro Marchetti. Website is usgamesinc.com. Feel free to check that out if you want to. Supportive Oracle cards, magical spell cards by Lucy Cavendish, illustrated by Jesse Reish, and then there's Hay House website down there, hayhouse.com. Feel free to freeze frame and check any of that out that you want to if you're so inclined. Okay, what do we have for Aries? I have a feeling we're going to put out a lot of cards. This is all, okay. So, is this good or bad or indifferent? What's going on here? Oh, I haven't put out these cards yet. You might be surprised how this turns out. I feel like initially you don't like it. Just to be fair, I feel like I just don't want to deal with it anymore, and I don't like it. This may have had its benefit in the beginning. Whatever this is, it had a lot of benefit in the beginning. Currently, I don't like it. And I feel like that might be what this reading is about. Because I don't see whatever it is becoming more to your favor. I'm trying to be careful with that, but is it about a choice you need to make, or is it about choice somebody else is making? This is interesting. Because I feel like it's like the writing is on the wall. This is going where it's going. Four of Pentacles reversed. Letting go, and then the nine of Major Arcana is the Hermit card, but it's halfway in, halfway out. We're not getting all the information we should be getting. There's half-truths coming forward is what I'm getting. It's kind of like, why is the kitchen a mess? Because the dog was in there. Nobody's saying that who let the dog in there or why the dog was in there, but so we know the dog was in. It's like, yeah, okay, the dog was in there. That's why it's a mess. But why was the dog in there? We're not getting that information. And it may be one of those things where you're getting half truths. You're not getting the full story, which is annoying. Things are changing very quickly. I don't like what's going on here, and I feel like this is the time where it's time to make a decision. This is like, okay, I don't like what's going on here. What control do I have? Do I have control at this situation, or is my only control in this situation is to walk away from the situation? Do I have the luxury of walking away from the situation? Because certain things, it's really like you got to deal with what you got to deal with, right? I'm trying to get more answers. I'm trying to find more truth about what's going on. I'm not finding it, is what I'm also getting. The Hermit card is more introspection, but it's kind of like trying to build something on reality, trying to find the truth and trying to build on that. It's a lot of introspection, yes, but to me that's not the only meaning of this card. It's like trying to find what's really here and build on it. Kind of like, I want to make a move forward, but I need to know what's actually truth. I need to see what's really going on so I can make a smart move forward. I want my next move to be a smart move forward. I'm not getting what I want from this. And I am also kind of feeling, is there somebody trying to manipulate this? Ten of Wands, and somebody else also wants this to just change. They're trying to get what they want out of this situation. They may find you stressful to deal with, and they might be trying to circumvent this in a way that they feel is right. That's how they feel. It's subjective. You're not happy with the situation. I keep getting that over and over again. Okay, so we know that. I don't want to beat it to death, but it's kind of like I feel like I just need to start deciding where I want to be and just start moving forward. Start moving towards it. It's very frustrating because it's kind of like the information I have around me, what's really happening in the situation, greatly affects that. If I can't get the truth, it could damage my outcome, and I feel like that's why it's kind of like I can't just step forward and just move forward because I don't know if there's going to be something there to stand on for one. So if I just try to move forward, I might step into error and just face plant or worse. And I'm not really sure what that next movement could be. You are easily ready to move forward and change the situation. You are easily ready to do that. It's just like I don't know where to go with it. I feel like that's the problem. So what's something that could empower Aries to move forward in a way that... How can Aries start moving forward in a stable way? Realizing that I have to, and also realizing that I have to create my own... I have to... If I don't know if there's something there, I have to put something there. So it's kind of like, all right, just assume there's nothing there and just put something there. I feel like it's that type of thing. Kind of like, all right, I can't see. It's like if it's pitch black outside and I have the windows open, but I don't know how far it is down. I gotta like drop something out the window that's gonna make a sound so I can at least hear when it hits. Like I may have to throw something I'm willing to get rid of. I have to throw it out the window next to the window, and like when do I hear it hit something? And it's kind of like, oh, it went a ways. It went a ways before it made a sound. So I'm gonna need to like find a way to like get myself. I don't know what's out there. That's true. Like, is there a dog out there? I don't know. But I have to like, all right, I gotta protect myself as if there was a dog out there. I gotta give myself a rope so I can climb down so I can at least start getting out there. I also want to make it sure I can get back up here if I need to. So it's like, oh, this is dangerous. I need to get back in and rethink my plan, but at least I'll have the information. I feel like we have to start creating our way out. It's gonna be like we have to start. We just gotta start looking. We gotta just start going. Aries is bold. I know that, but it's kind of like you're trying to make a smart decision. You're not giving. They're not giving you that ability to do that, whoever they are. I feel like we might have to fail before we succeed. We might have to fail before we succeed. This is kind of like a rough one, isn't it? Once you start moving on, the Ace of Pentacles starts showing up, and then you're going to start building your way out of this. You're going to have this moment where you're going to make mistakes. It's kind of like I have to start screwing things up so I can actually fix it later. We might have to make a bigger mess before we can fix the mess. Take it with a grain of salt. Readings are for entertainment purposes only. We know that. But I'm saying it might have to get worse before it gets better. And it's kind of like, well, if it's going to get worse, the sooner we get through it, the better. It's kind of like the way we're going, it's going to drag out for a year. But if I start pushing it forward, it's going to drag out for a month and then start getting better. Like, do we want to deal with it over the next year or just have a really crappy... I'd rather have one crappy month than You want a crappy month or a crappy year? I guess that's the difference. Squishing it into 1 month might be worse, but it's less time. If you want to let it go throughout the year, that's completely fine. But I feel like basically, if you have like whatever would happen in a whole year, instead of dealing with it throughout the whole year, you're just squishing it into 1 month and just dealing with the same stuff, but just in 1 month. Would you rather deal with it in 1 month, or you want to drag it out over the year? It's subjective. That's literally your answer. Like, whatever you decide is correct, that's what's correct. Because it's going to get worse before it gets better. Once you get through it, you got a lot of good cards coming out. You got the Queen of Cups coming in. You're going to find what you want. You're going to look back and you're going to feel bad about some things because it didn't really work out the way I wanted to and I didn't really get quite the outcome I wanted. This situation is not going to have the perfect outcome. It's just not. I feel like giving yourself a break. I don't know if you journal, but if you journal, you might want to just remind yourself and maybe write down what you've been going through at these times so you can look back and give yourself proper reference. Like, well, I made that decision because of this. I made that decision because of this. It goes so fast that when you look back, you may forget why you made certain decisions. If you look back and you're like, well, this is what I knew and this is why I did this, it may give you a better perspective later on, kind of like, well, for what I knew at the time, that was a good decision. Now that I know different things, and I'm like, well, now that I'm looking back, like, oh yeah, that makes sense, I should have known that, but I didn't. But you didn't, that's the point. I made the decision that I did. So there's a danger when you get to the other end of like looking back and like going, oh, if I had known this, I'd have done that, or I should have known that, or why didn't I know that, or since that was happening anyway, why didn't I look over here? Be careful of that. There's better at the other end of this. The trick is to not constantly second guess yourself. Acknowledge things, make better decisions going forward. That's everybody's life story, but being careful not to look back and going, oh, I can't believe I did that. Why didn't I do that? Type thing. Realizing in that moment I made the best decision I could. I was pressured. I needed to do this. I did the best I could. This is how I react to these certain things. Getting through it will be better. You have to decide whether the month or the year is better, whatever works for you. But I feel like they're saying this situation it's going to get worse before it gets better. When you're on the other side, it's looking back and realizing due to how it was at the time, you did the best you could at the time and giving yourself that leeway. Again, if you're a person that journals, or somehow you can give yourself maybe a video diary or something to give yourself reference to remind yourself why you made the decisions at the time the way you did, it will kind of free you up and give yourself a little bit of a liberation from that. Otherwise, I feel like you may look back and be like, oh yeah, I can't believe I did that. That was kind of harsh or something like that. You also want to, this is showing up in the sense of like, when you're at the other end of this, trying to find a way for harmony. You're going to want harmony when this is all over, said and done. For one reason or another, you're going to want harmony with the people around you. It may not seem like it now, but if you're able to get along with people at the other end, and you keep that in mind as you keep moving forward, it makes things a lot easier for you when you're on the other side of this. Because there will be fallout, there definitely will be fallout, but if you keep that in the back of your mind, like, I do want to get along with these people on the other side of this, it does affect your decision-making skills, and it does make this a lot easier for you in the long run. Keep that in mind as well. Of course, if you decide you don't care and you don't want to do that, then that's how you're going to do it. Totally get that. All right, are we there? All right, I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day.